Roger, go for deploy.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back to another episode of Adventure Fit Radio. Welcome, Bill.
Welcome to me. Welcome to you, Tom.
Well,
welcome to the show.
Thank you for welcoming me.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah,
good to see you.
It's good. It's really good. I'm really excited right now. So should we just go right into the sponsors?
Yes, so today, guys, we are sponsored by Quash Creative. Quash is an Elwood-based freelance design firm run by a good friend of the show, Sean Marsh. So Marshy basically... he's the guy that created our intro jingle.
All right, now before we do this,
you guys, we all know how much you guys love it. I love our intro jingle; it's so sick. Marshy's basically all-round design firm for anything creative, and he's really, really awesome. Check out www.quashcreative.com. So that's QUARSH creative.com, and mention radio when you speak to Marshy, and you'll get a free basic SEO report for your website or feedback on your existing branding.
I like that one, Bill.
We are also brought to you by Audible.
Yes, we are. Now, I just finished my books, so I've got nothing but love for. I just finished Pitch Anything. I actually just finished The Power of Habit. Have you started that?
Nah.
You got to read that one. Really good.
I
And
think
then The
got
God
it in my
Delusion.
Audible.
So Bill and I both read outside of Audible as well, guys. But we do love listening to books on the go. If you're feeling like you want a bit of a knowledge bang, then jump on Audible, guys. It's a really good way to just get some books in, get some knowledge in, or some fiction as well when you're on the go. Head to www.audibletrial.com/ADVF radio. And you can... What can you do, Bill?
I don't think it's /ADVF radio.
Sure?
I think it's ADVF or radio.
Oh, fuck, man. It's one of those two, isn't it?
Yeah.
No. You know what it is? It's
What?
radio.
Yeah, it is
it's
radio. Yeah, I think it's radio.
audibletrial.com/radio.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Radio
Yeah.
is normally, I think.
Yes, that's right. And once you sign up, guys, you can get yourself a free credit with which you can download a book, which is really good. That's what I do. So, yeah.
Yeah. And we
love
are lastly but not leastly brought to you by Adventure Fit Travel, guys. Head to www.adventurefittravel.com for all things blog. We've got a bunch of writers that pump out awesome content for us and all things health, fitness, travel. We've also got all of our podcasts on there, which is where the show notes will be housed. You guys already know that. We've got all of our trips that are on there that are coming up. So we've got Bali with Carl Paoli coming up. We've got Kokoda Track in April. And we also have Dimitri Klokov in Koh Tao in Thailand. So those are all ready. And we also have private trips that you guys can put together that so you can get a group together, travel for free if you're an affiliate owner, if you're a gym owner, or if you're the link person, if you can get a gang together and plan your own holiday. So it's an awesome option. Me and Tommy just came back from Mexico. Tommy, you would probably agree that it's just fucking fun.
Oh,
it's
great.
It's everybody's best friends on our trips. They're just
I
the most...
would be a little bit biased, of course, but even being unbiased, it's fucking awesome. It's so fun.
Yeah. So yeah, guys. So if you want a holiday, you want to stay fit while you're doing it, you want to hang out with some cool people, head to www.adventurefittravel.com. Use the code word radio at checkout, and you'll get 10% off. Aside from that,
Here's
the show. It's fucking weird, isn't it?
What's going on?
It does feel like we're back to square one.
Yeah, it does. We are fucked, though. I'm very tired. I'm very tired, yeah.
All right, so anyway, so this is week one of the Open, so...
Yeah, that's true.
What's going on with that?
Oh, well, yeah, 17.1 was good fun. That was...
By good fun, you mean...
It was big.
Excruciatingly
It was
painful?
actually fucked.
Yeah.
It was
What
real
was it?
hard. It was, so for time, 10 dumbbell snatches. So it was alternating dumbbell snatches, right?
Right.
10 dumbbell snatches, 15 burpee box jump overs.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They're always
20
a
dumbbell
fucker.
snatches, 15 burpee box jump overs, 30, 15, 40, 15, 50, 15 for
Right.
time.
Right.
So there was a 20-minute time cap.
Right.
It was tough.
Yeah.
It was really, really tough, especially because there was nothing to it.
Yeah.
Like, it was just a thing of,
Just go through the pain.
yeah, like there's
Get
no...
up and get down and get up again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they wrote a song about that.
Yeah. Got to get up to get down.
Well, I was thinking of...
Got to get up to get down.
I was thinking of... I was thinking of Chumbawamba.
Oh,
Who,
right.
of course, wrote My Heart Will Go On. Yeah, no, but This was all just pure grit. Like, there is no skill in picking up something off the floor and fucking putting it over your head.
Or picking your body up off the floor and
jumping on a box.
Jumping on a box.
Yeah. Mind you, there's a bit of skill in jumping on a box. A lot of blokes out there can't... yeah, they struggle with that one. Myself included. Yeah, so... Yeah, it was really, really tough. But
straight
it was good.
pain cave, eh? Low skills, straight pain.
Low skills, straight
Julian Pinot would
PC.
like that.
Oh, he'd hate it. He would hate it. Well, I mean, he would like it, but...
No, you know what he was talking about the low skill, high pain tolerance. That's how a lot of the workouts should be done in CrossFit.
Well, when he came to Melbourne, I actually had a chat to him about that, and he was talking about how... But see, like, yeah, with this one, though, you start picking it up like a bin. You start picking it up really bent back. Like, you just wrench it up. My back was so fucked by the end of it. Mate, it was... but I redid it.
Yeah, what happened with? Wasn't there a fucking 2 or 3 day extension on because the CrossFit Games website kept crashing?
Yeah.
What a bunch of fucking knuckleheads!
Oh mate, I don't know,
mate.
Yeah, they're great up there at HQ, aren't they?
I don't know why they fucking just ridiculous.
Well, it just meant that people could just redo and redo and redo. Like people did it 5 times.
But it's a new website.
Yeah, I know. It's completely different. And I'll give credit to it. It's a great fresh look. Like it makes everything easier.
Yeah, it's great.
Think, anyway.
It's great. It's like getting a.
It's really good. You can't use it.
It's like getting a fucking. It's like getting a car.
Nice.
It's like getting the frame of a Ferrari, like the chassis of a Ferrari, and putting a bunch of fucking rotting vegetables in the middle of it, and going, "Oh, it's a fucking great car."
Yeah, let me tell you.
Great.
I wish it had wheels.
How's it drive? Oh, it doesn't drive.
Doesn't drive. What do you mean?
Drive. What are you talking about?
It's a veggie patch. You want a potato?
So they're a fucking bunch of gooses, mate. Like I just hate everything that CrossFit HQ do, and I just think that's just another because it just devalues the sport, you know.
Oh, you mean about the whole social media and all that sort of shit?
No, not like that. Like the fact that
they don't have
you have
a website.
Sport that
they got a Ferrari and potatoes.
Yeah, you have a sport that that needs like that website needs to be fucking absolutely 100% foolproof. Because
it needs to be on.
Step one of their sport is the Open, you know,
that's right.
And there's going to be 60 trillion people logging in and putting their scores on. Like you have to have a website that can handle that shit.
Yeah, well,
like it's like the NFL. If the NFL had their draft combine and the draft pet players had to put their had to put their scores for their vertical leap, whatever, they had to enter them in themselves. Well, the NFL wouldn't have a fucking website that would crash. You know what I mean? Because it's a fucking switched on sport.
Yeah, that's right.
You're trying to be a sport and you like they change rules.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, it's just for me, I don't really care.
To play devil's advocate, like, don't all websites just crash every now and then?
Nah,
they don't.
Don't think so.
How does a website even crash?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not a tech guy, but I'm very, very certain. Like, let's say, what's a good example? Well, for one example is why didn't their website crash all the other years? It's never happened before. On their old website, so it's just a weaker website in the back end.
It's just a weaker website.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what you need to do to make sure a website doesn't crash.
Little dwarfs that fuck it up.
Yeah, dwarves in a veggie patch.
Yeah, dwarves. Yeah. Vegan dwarfs.
Yeah, so I don't know, but
I do know what you're saying though.
Yeah,
I definitely know what you're saying.
Anyway, so how did you go on the workout?
Yeah,
anyway,
not too bad. I managed to get through it without the time cap fucking me over, so that was good. But yeah, no, it's I wanted. I want about 100. I want roughly 100 or so, 150 places better than I got last year. So
right.
Hopefully,
where'd you finish last year?
374, 375, something like that. And so this one I was about 171.
Bin territory.
Yeah, bin territory. I was right in the bin. I was in the bin. So this one I got 171st. So
really?
Yeah. So we'll see how we go. Obviously, yeah, it's week one. Don't want to, it's week one. Just it was a good game with the boys, and we're looking forward to next week, mate. But we'll see how we go, mate. If there's a barbell in there, I'm fucked.
Really? What do you mean?
Well, I'm just not strong.
Oh, yeah, but you don't have to be strong in the Open.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to be fit.
Well, maybe. I mean, what did they do last year? They had some fucking...
That cleans one, which
got heavy,
a lot of people think it's going to happen today. People reckon that one's going to be announced today. Comes out today in about... What's the time now?
Friday. It's fucking Friday.
Yeah, so what's the time now? 9 o'clock? 8 o'clock?
Yes.
8 a.m.
8:35, I think.
In the morning.
8:35, yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be on in around, 3 hours?
Cool.
3.5 hours, yeah.
Cool.
What's Bill's educated prediction for 17.2? Probably a lunge Passover, maybe a seated dumbbell curl.
I think they'll probably announce they'll probably seated dumbbell curl. I'd say there'd probably be some sort of bilateral movement.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Using the quadrilateral plane.
Yeah, the quadrilateral plane is definitely there.
Probably
yeah.
the website will crash.
Yeah, the website.
And I'll just go back and go to bed and jack myself off. Are you talking about my day or like what I'm doing for the day?
So that was good.
Sorry,
let's
I thought you wanted me to predict.
Let's have a look through that. There will be a bilateral movement. Bill will at some point jack himself off. The website will crash.
And then we'll be working in the quadrilateral plane.
Quadrilateral plane. I don't even know what that is.
It's
Boeing 747?
it only works for Goro and Kintaro.
Oh yeah,
you have to have 4 arms.
Yeah, that's right.
Quadrilateral.
That makes sense. Yeah, and Lord Vishnu, obviously. Yeah. Well, he was a CrossFitter.
Lord Vishnu.
He was a CrossFitter, mate. Lord Vishnu was a badass.
No, I love
it.
He was a
badass.
Yeah, badass.
Badass.
No, I don't have any predictions, but
he was a real G.
I used to love the workouts that they would repeat.
Yeah,
I'm a big one for.
I want
for a repeat
16.2
workout.
to happen again.
Was that's the cleans one?
Cleans one.
How
Ascending
did that
cleans
work?
one. So you had 4 minutes to get each thing done. It was 25 toaster bar, 50 double unders, and then 15 cleans at 135. Then you had same toaster bar, same double unders, 13 cleans at 185.
Yeah.
Yada yada yada. 11 cleans at 225. Yada yada yada.
11
9
cleans at 100 kilos.
Yep. 11
Yep.
cleans.
That's not too bad.
9 cleans at 275.
Which
125 kegs.
How many? 9 at 125?
9 at 125.
Jeez, that'd be fucking grilling the legs.
Fucking
Or
grill
you
in
putting
the
the legs
grill.
in Grill City 3000.
Grill City 4038, yeah. And then you had yada yada, 7 cleans at 315. 143 kegs.
7 cleans.
7 cleans.
Fuck.
So you have to be able to clean
tough.
about 1 million.
How many people in Australia got through the 7 cleans?
I don't know. I reckon old mate
Tommy
Bennett
Lingle did, didn't he?
Yeah, did he get through them all?
Or maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah. I can't remember. I know people definitely got a good chunk of them out.
Right.
I mean, that's fucked.
That's tough.
To be that cooked.
That's really fucking
But
crazy.
what
that
I
you
was
can get
thinking
through
of, yes, your heart rate's going to be burned, your legs going to be burned, but if your clean, let's say, is 20, 25 kilos above 315, then essentially you've just got your heart rate up and warmed up for that heavy weight.
Yeah,
Because it's
you're
still
going
going to be
get through
super
it.
light.
Yeah.
You know?
It's anything that's
Like, as a percentage
anything
of
that's
your clean,
85% or whatever. You're going to be able to grind through.
you're
reps
always
of.
going to be able to grind through it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And the whole, I don't know. It is like a really good warm up sometimes. Like people
Yeah.
were hitting fucking PBs and stuff. I remember hearing or seeing it on social media or whatever. So no, I'm with you.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah, I think. How do you reckon you would go if that comes out this year?
Oh, I'd like to say I could get one clean at 275.
275, 125.
Yeah.
Surely you got more than that in you.
Well,
What's
I
your
just think I'd be
clean?
so fucked. Clean's 125.
Oh,
Clean's
right.
127.5. No, it's 125.
Right.
Yeah. So it's not.
Right.
It's not hummus.
Nah, but fuck, if you give yourself enough time,
Yeah, that's
it's
right.
the whole adrenaline thing too.
Oh, exactly.
Like when you're under that fucking much pressure and adrenaline, then
Yeah.
your body does crazy things. It's like fight or flight, basically.
Yeah.
You get like that little superhuman power. I feel like so.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, well, that'll be good. Hopefully it comes out. I used to love the old repeat workouts because
Yeah, they're the best.
I was a big one where, like, I never really pushed that hard in the first go round ever because I knew that I'd do it again.
Yeah.
Oh, I did, but I also, I don't know, I always just felt comfortable. Some people just
Yeah.
want to do them once. Some people just can go as hard as they possibly can, not
Yeah.
give a fuck about anything. Whereas me,
But that you don't even know that. Like I
Yeah.
thought I went as hard as I could the
Yeah.
first time I did 17.1, and then I redid it and I got 11 seconds faster,
yeah, and you
and
always,
I felt shitter.
yeah, and you realise, but you also realise you're like, fuck. I didn't feel like I went fast in this section, so
Yeah.
I feel like I could have a little bit more pain in this section, which wouldn't fuck the next section. Like,
Yeah.
you can game it.
Oh,
you know, you can totally,
absolutely can.
Totally game it. And the other thing is, for people like myself, who I just, for people like myself, I would say like, okay, the pain level, I didn't fucking die, so I can obviously go a little bit harder.
Always can, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
at the time, the first go around, you're like, oh my god, this is killing me. This
fucked.
is really bad. I'm
Yeah.
dying here. But then when it's all said and done, you're like, that wasn't that bad.
Nah.
I've had worse workouts. As long as it's not the
exactly.
worst workout you've ever done.
Yeah.
Like one of the last CrossFit workouts I did was, actually it wasn't one of the last CrossFit workouts, but like when I was like giving
Right
CrossFit
into
a
it.
crack like 2 or 3 years ago, was that burpee over the bar thruster open workout.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that
yeah.
was like the fifth,
Oh, really?
fifth day 5, 13.5.
Yeah.
I think it was 13.5.
14.5.
14.5.
14.5 because
16.
oh no, hang on. Maybe it was 15.5.
No, it wasn't 15.5.
Sure.
Yeah, man.
Because they did it for 16.5. And it was a repeat.
15.
It was a repeat.
Maybe.
If
maybe
it genuinely
15.
was that wide, then it was 15.5. If it was that wide.
I feel like it was 14.5 and they did
Do you
it
mean
for 15.5.
the 27, 21, 15, 9?
No, I did it at CrossFit 3000.
So then where were
It
you?
was fucking ages ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was they did repeat it though. They did repeat it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's
I know
the
which one
one.
you're talking
Whenever,
about. Yeah.
whenever it was 2 or 3 years ago, I was like at the end of my competitive CrossFit career.
21, 18, 15, 12, 9, 6, 3.
Yep.
Yes.
Of thrusters and burpees over the
Yes,
bar.
yes.
I feel like it was 13.5.
I think it was 9.27.
Anyway, so I did that. And that was the first time in any open. It was the worst score that I'd ever got. I got like 700th in Australia.
Yeah.
And worst score I'd ever got in the two opens that I did. And by a double. Like I'd always been in the top 300 every workout.
Yep.
Pretty consistent. Like couple in like 150 range. Whatever. Nothing really better than that.
Yeah.
But I got 700 or 800. And I was like, I was doubly shitter than anything I've ever done. And everyone was like, you can do it again. Because I did it on like the Friday afternoon. You can do it again. You can do it again. And I looked at it. I said, you couldn't fucking put a gun to my head and tell me to do that again.
Yeah.
No
So
way.
you were just fucked.
I was just like...
You went hard.
Well, like I said, there's... I definitely pussied out of it, you know.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna bump my open placing up that much more, whatever.
No.
And you know how I just said, like, just before going back to what I said about, like, you've always got the ability to go harder, especially, like, if you look at it and you go, look, I've been in more pain than that and I didn't die. Like, that wasn't the worst workout I've ever done.
Exactly.
Well, that one was the worst workout I've ever done.
Yeah.
And I said to everyone, I'm like, look, if I do this again and I get fucking 100th in Australia, it's going to move me 30 fucking places up a leaderboard that I don't really give a fuck about.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I was
what
like...
was your goal to actually make regionals for Indo? Did you always do it for the love? Or?
Yeah, I was always trying to make regionals, yeah.
Because honestly, for me, as cliche as it sounds, my goal is to just always enjoy it.
Yep.
And like, if I keep enjoying it, I'm just going to keep training it, and I'm automatically going to get better.
Yeah,
You know?
my goal was to make regionals, but I knew that I should have been doing more to do so.
Yeah.
I thought I'd just fall ass first into it because I was pretty naturally talented.
Yep.
And I have the capability to get a really big engine.
Yep.
Basically, I moved well and I can get real fit. So I thought it would just happen.
Yep.
But I knew, like, I was training pretty fucking hard, but I was writing my own programming and I was doing most of the shit that I just like to do all the time. You know, people would give me shit about it. Wilbur, who owns CrossFit Rosebud, he would tell me, he's like, man, what are you doing today? Snatching and muscle ups? Yep.
Yeah.
Doing Amanda as we speak, my friend.
Yeah, that's right.
And,
literally as we speak, I'm 3 snatches in.
Yeah. And so he gave me shit. But I knew that I needed to, get on somebody's program, like get on a raw strength and conditioning or fucking... So I needed to get a proper coach and follow somebody's programming that would make me better. Wilbur always thought that I would quite comfortably make it to regionals or like have a... He used to want me to get on the gear because like if I got on the gear, I reckon I would have maybe been up the top of the heap.
You would have been stronger, but you wouldn't have trained harder. Would you?
No, I know. So I trained hard. I just didn't train smart, and I needed to train harder.
Yeah.
So and then,
But also
that was
smarter. Like from the
Much
sound
smarter,
of things,
yes,
like
that's
you
right.
would have never done like pistols and shit.
Yeah. Look, I did.
As an example.
Yeah, I did focus on my weaknesses, but not as much as a coach would have had me do, and so forth. So I definitely if 100's a perfect score for programming for myself, I'd give myself a 50.
Yeah.
The coach is going to give me probably an 80.
Yeah.
No, you're never going to get the perfect programming.
No, exactly.
And then the amount of hard work I was putting in, I probably needed to be, 85, 90 out of 100. And I was probably putting in 60 or 70.
Yeah.
And then
could have done more.
Yeah, and
It just shows you just didn't, which is fine. Want it enough.
Yeah, that's probably the case. I mean, I just was relying on what I thought was ability that would probably get me there, and the fact that I could get pretty fit. But I also wasn't kicking and screaming, and I wasn't going to cry if I didn't make it.
Exactly.
It wasn't. And then I really only had 2 years of being competitive in it.
Yeah.
And then I chose weightlifting and gave that a bit of a nudge. But to be perfectly honest, it's a bit of a shame. It's really weird. Like with footy, I trained harder than anyone, for sure. I did more hours in the gym, more extra training. Couple of pre-seasons towards the end there, running-wise, I didn't really. So I kind of focused on strength more than anything else. But most of my career, like there wasn't really many people that worked harder than me. But having said that, as a junior, as a young footy player, like I wasn't working smart, but for me it was the best I knew to do. Like, you know, in the gym, the stuff I was doing on the training track and the extras that I was doing running wise. Like, had I had the knowledge that I have now and the work ethic that I had then and combined the two, you know, I would have probably been a 10% better player the whole way through.
I couldn't agree more. Like, for me, after I did my first knee injury, I was training way harder than anyone else, and like first at the gym, last to leave, all that sort of shit. So essentially doing CrossFit from a young age. But I never got better than the guys that were going out and getting hammered every weekend. I never understood it. And football's a bit different. This is why I like CrossFit. Football is a bit different because it's like there comes a point where you just have to naturally be a good footy player. Like you just have to be able to read the play. You have to play a lot more footy. If you're not out on the fucking paddock, like you're not going to get better.
No.
And like no amount of bench press or squatting is going to help get you there. But with CrossFit, it's like if you get injured, you can develop some other part. Like CrossFit's kind of like directly what you put in is how much you get out, which I think is exciting because it gives you like direct feedback as to like if you've been lazy or if you've been efficient on it, you know.
Yeah, I agree with the CrossFit thing. I still think there's a lot of room for that in like football or like a sport where you do need the skill. Like to be, you're never gonna train yourself hard enough to get into the AFL if you don't have the brain for it to be an AFL player.
Exactly.
That's I think there's no truer statement in the world. But I went straight from under 16s to senior footy, and I was in the best every second week, and I was like the new kid on the block, killing it, whatever. And I played 2 years of senior footy as a junior, as under 18s, and then as under 18. Then I had a shoulder reconstruction, and ended the last game of my under 18 season.
Is that ever giving you more shit?
Nah,
that's amazing.
Sweet, it's really good. So full AC joint reconstruction.
Yep.
And the next year, so I missed most of the preseason, came back, and I just thought I'd waltz my way into the ones.
Yep.
And they didn't really play me in the ones. I didn't train hard. I just thought I was just pretty good.
Yep.
And I played probably half the year in the twos, half the year in the ones, which for me, as a little kid, thought I was a gun, thought I was going to fucking go places and had a pretty big ego. I was like a bit jaded by that. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I'm like, okay, so, well, that's all right, though. I'm just going to have a huge preseason because I don't want this happening to me next year. I want to be playing senior footy. I want to be back playing good footy.
Yep.
So I had a massive preseason. Like I said, worked harder than anyone. And my coach that first played me as a junior in under 18s, was name was Justin Hosking. He ended up not being the coach by the time I was that next year after the shoulder reco or after the bad year I had. He was just a player, and he always used to talk to me about hard work and like what it took him to get to where he was. He was like league best and fairest winner, like captain and coach of this club and that club, whatever.
Yep.
Very successful local footballer, and he always used to talk to me about. He named his dog after me. He has a dog named Billy, because he fucking loved me so much.
He named himself Billy.
Yeah, yeah. He called me Billy.
What sort of dog was it?
When I was a kid, I was like a Kelpie or something.
Kelpie?
Yeah, but when I was a kid, I was like, when I was a kid in primary school and when I was like a young footy player, I was like Billy Kerr.
You were a dog.
I was, yeah. And, but he loved me.
I was a genuine canine Minaj.
So, and he always used to talk to me about working hard and like how, and then when I started kind of following Hoss's lead, because I looked up to him a fair bit, and I put in so much that year, and then everything just the ball just did start to bounce my way. I was never a very skilled footballer, and I had to be touching the football a lot to keep my skills sharp enough.
Yep.
But, you know, my football brain and my decision making was never that great. I was a good footy player, but you can't fucking work on that unless you're like at an AFL club and you're spending 4 hours a day playing fucking games, like mental games or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But I definitely worked my way into a much better local footy career.
Yep.
But I agree. Like I knew from very day dot with high level footy, like you would have as well.
Yep.
I knew from the very fucking moment I hit under 15 Stingrays, I knew who was going to play professional football.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like Jared Moore.
Yeah.
Rowan Naina and Jaden Attard, especially Jared Moore. I looked at Jared Moore and I said, he's a fucking different breed.
Yeah.
Like, he is born to be a footballer.
Yeah.
He was born with the ability to know where the ball's going to bounce.
Know where the ball is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's
exactly.
just crazy seeing
Some people are just that good, though.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. I always
That's why it's such a good sport, though.
It is a good sport.
Because it's just like, some aspects of it, you've got it or you don't. That's like why it's so good to watch, the rising stars get out on the paddock for like the first game or whatever, because it's like, fuck, this guy is going to be a gun.
Yeah.
You can't see that. As opposed to like a CrossFitter where it's like, oh, this guy's good, but it all goes down to how much he trains. There's not that real surprise element. I mean, that's a big sweeping statement, but, if you guys don't agree, well, then you can fuck off.
Yeah, I always think it's funny how like, remember I told that story in the last shoot the shoe we did about hitting the taking a wicket with my second ball in cricket and then hitting a six and I was out.
Yeah.
So that's the only time.
This is a man right here that was born to play cricket.
Yeah. So,
and by born to play cricket, I mean genuinely not to play cricket at all.
I always wonder in life, like, if you had a chance to play every fucking sport out there, I wonder what
would it be?
Yeah, because I wonder what you'd be best at.
Yeah.
Like, surely there's a sport out there that me and you could be the best in the world at.
Prostitution.
There's a lot of fucking sports out there.
Yeah.
Like, we can make it big one day.
We could make it big from curling.
Yeah.
I would definitely invest time in a sport where there's probably like 3 people in the world that play it, a.k.a. golf.
Yeah.
A lot of people play golf. That was just a poor example.
So,
what do you reckon it would be?
Well, that's a
synchronized diving.
Yeah,
naked synchronized diving.
I just think it's real funny. Like, that's why I think when you have kids, it's so not because your whole prerogative is to make your kids professional sportsmen so they can make lots of money.
Definitely is.
Yeah, it pretty much is. Pretty much is.
Well,
my kid's gonna have a tough upbringing.
Yeah.
Oh, you missed that goal. Oh, fuck, you could be hungry tonight, motherfucker.
Get your pants off. Oh, that's terrible.
Get your pants off. But,
that's gross. I don't condone that.
No, those parents are the worst.
Yeah.
But
it's kind of like what the Chinese do. You're going to be a miner. You're going to be a weightlifter. You're going to be a pedophile.
But I was speaking to Chinese people when I had our.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
How's that going?
When dong dong.
Yeah. Okay.
But I was speaking to my Chinese crew when we had the private CrossFit Games trip a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Or last year. And so I was talking to them about weightlifting in particular, because you always hear about how the Chinese are just picked from a young age to be whatever their body type would point them in direction.
Well, that's
of,
what
basically.
we were talking about, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Essentially. Like looking at someone's body type. And,
yeah, absolutely. And they look at their parents and so forth. And like, if your body type's you're a tiny little kid who's really scrawny or whatever, and then they're like, oh, we're not sure what sport he's going to play, and then they meet the dad, and the dad's Yao Ming.
Yeah,
you're probably going to start playing basketball.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
but like, if you're on the same level, it's like you look at the small kid and he's a tiny little dweeb or he's got glasses, and you look at the dad and he's a fucking gimp with sinus issues. That kid's destined to be a dork.
Yeah, you're going to be a nerd. You're going to be a nerd, boy.
Hey, nerd boy. Nerd. Hey, loser. That would suck. Oh, God.
But the way that it works is, because the way that it works is being a nerd. But in all seriousness, because I always thought that all the kids in the schools get picked to be. This is what you hear, from the Western world, and they say, they just get picked to be a weightlifter or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was talking to Weiwei, one of the boys on the trip. Legend.
How is Weiwei?
Yeah, he's good. He's good? He's really well. He knows Ed, actually.
Does he actually know
Weiwei?
Weiwei?
He's a seminar staff, CrossFit seminar staff member. And that's his name, Weiwei. First name Wei, last name Wei. Yeah.
Does he know Weiwei?
Weiwei.
Yeah. Do you know Weiwei?
Nah.
He's mates with Ed. CrossFit. I'm joking. Surely you must know Wang Wang. I'll show you Wang.
So Weiwei goes. He said that in China,
accent included. I repeat, accent included.
He said
not at all means racist.
He said in China that there's basically basketball is the most popular sport by a country mile.
I heard. Yeah, and then followed by baseball, though, yeah?
Yeah, maybe. Japan, baseball's huge. I'm not sure about China, probably.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
You might be being racist there.
I think I've been racist, yeah.
No, but...
all intentional, of course.
But basketball's the number one sport, but a lot of kids can't afford to play basketball because there's so much poverty in China, basically.
Yeah.
So, and so many kids come from rural farming backgrounds that they can't afford to play in the local basketball leagues or whatever. So, all the kids that get picked to be a weightlifter, picked to be a gymnast, picked to be a wrestler, picked to be whatever else, a swimmer, they're basically kids that get picked from rural areas where the parents basically don't have enough money to provide for their children.
Yeah.
Or they're on the poverty line, basically.
Yeah.
They're picked from there, and they go to school where the schools educate and feed the kids.
Yeah.
And then since they're in the school, they're going to try and make them into
100%.
an athlete. So,
Yeah.
but
Do you reckon they pump it full of gear?
But basically, yeah, I really don't know how that works.
I
But
haven't thought about that.
yeah, but so like if you're from a low socioeconomic background, that's what'll happen. You'll become a weightlifter, you'll become a gymnast, you'll become this or that. If you come from money, so Weiwei's parents got money. He's like, he goes, no one even knows Lu Xiaojun.
Yeah.
Like, no one knows Lu Xiaojun. No one at all. Weiwei does because he's a CrossFitter.
Of
but
course.
he goes, the general public, he goes, I don't give a fuck about weightlifting.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about this. I don't give a fuck about that. As a kid, I just cared about basketball. It's all I wanted to do. And
It's funny. It sounds very Anglo for a Chinese man.
He came from money, so that's what he was able to do. He was able to play basketball. Whereas, it's all the lower socioeconomic, all the poor people, really, all the poor crew. That
So weightlifting's not that big over there,
Not big
despite
at
the
all.
fact that they're the most competitive at it.
no one batters an eyelid at it.
No. So basketball's the big one.
Basketball's
so Yao
huge.
Ming is a fucking god.
Yeah,
He must be a god.
Basketball's huge. Weiwei said that, and I was talking to a few of the other crew like as well. But
Wasn't
it
he a
was basically
test
me and
tube
Weiwei.
baby?
Huh?
Wasn't Yao Ming a test tube baby? Was he?
I don't know,
Where am I
man.
getting
That might be a real
That could be
urban legend that
that could be an urban legend.
you're running with here.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I've never heard that.
Really.
Yeah, no.
This is why we need Kieran, the little fucking to get him on the,
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually was. Yeah.
Yeah, get him on the Google.
Get him on the Google A, the Mark Google A.
But yeah, I've always wondered how they go about like pumping the drugs into the sports men and women, because you think of like, obviously it's fucking rampant in Russia. Russia got busted 50 times over in the last before the last Olympics, but like
50
and
times.
then China as well. Like I always wonder, like, okay, you're sending your kid off to be a weightlifter at 10 years of age. That's cool. Like how irresponsible is it of a parent or of the government or whoever to just start pumping them full of gear? Hey guys, just a quick break in between our show here to talk about our sponsors. So firstly, we just want to talk about Quash Creative. So Quash Creative, guys, are an Elwood-based design firm run by a good friend of the show, Sean Marsh. So for you guys that aren't aware, Marshy made our intro jingle, and basically Quash Creative, they're a creative agency for absolutely anything that you want out there in the creative space. So be that anything website, anything graphic design, anything video, anything audio, Marshy is the man. And so really do go check him out. He's a great friend of the show, like we said, and he's really good at what he does. If you guys don't think so, and you've listened to our intro, then you guys are silly.
You guys suck.
So anyway, in all seriousness, check out Quash Creative, QUARSH creative.com, and mention Adventure Radio with the guys there, and you will get a free basic SEO report on your website or feedback on your existing brand. Get around our mate Marshy. And also, we are brought to you by Audible. So Audible, guys, Audible are an audiobook warehouse, which online audiobook warehouse that stock hundreds of thousands of titles and books from every walk of life. And it's mine and Tommy's probably favourite app on our phones. I don't know about you, Tommy. I go between probably, if you took away Audible, podcasts, and ujiz.com, I would
I go between Audible and Grindr.
Right. I would basically just throw my phone away.
Yeah,
There's no point having a phone.
There's no point having a phone.
Exactly.
There's no point messaging.
Yeah,
when
that's
you
right.
can't message dudes and listen to books. That's weird.
Yeah. So check out audible.com/radio, audibletrial.com/radio, and you'll get a free 30-day trial, and you'll also get one free audiobook. So it's a great way to get in knowledge, guys. Get that brain firing while you're walking the dog, cutting the lemons, washing the horse,
Washing the horse, beating the mutts.
Yeah, feeding the mutts. So audibletrial.com/radio, and get your shit together there.
Get your shit sorted, you unorganised people.
All right, here's back to the show.
I like it. Well, the thing is, the government probably only care about economics. The parents are probably ignorant to the fact that's happening. And the kids are kind of going, number one, I don't know what this is, so again, ignorance. But number two, it's like I got nothing else. If you're saying they're coming from rural backgrounds, so it's like I may as well just do what these people are telling me to do.
Well, they're just
It's kind of
adults
like
too.
the Essendon saga. It's like, well, they didn't know what was going on, you know?
Yeah, that's right. And the kids are just listening to adults.
Yeah, that's all.
Kids are just going to say, "Oh, okay, this is what we do." Oh, fine, no,
sounds good.
Jab it in me.
Don't touch the fire. There is a God.
Yeah,
Same sort of shit.
Yeah. So, it's interesting, but because I always just
Because
wonder,
the thing about drug testing is like you only have to get caught on it. So for all those kids at a young age, I don't know how young it starts. Like Arnie Schwarzenegger jumped on it like 15, 16 or something, didn't he? Like he was super young.
Yeah.
Like
I really don't know. I don't know how quickly you can juice them.
You just have to get caught on it. So I've often thought about, I mean, imagine if like let's just say for example now, there was some sort of amateur powerlifter out there. He kind of looks at CrossFit and goes, oh, that's interesting. But right now he's just pumping gear. But he, you know, like a lot of people do, just going to the gym, just wants to get swollen and massive and, you know, doesn't want to quit his 9 to 5. But then in a couple of years' time, he comes off the gear, still fucking strong because he's still training.
80% of it.
You definitely keep at it. Yeah, you definitely do. And then decides, I want to give CrossFit a go. He's never going to get caught, despite the fact that he cycled it for years and years.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, old mate Barry can clean and jerk 170 kegs. Like,
that's right.
The only thing is that you have to get caught on it. So
is that cheating if it's a prior juicing?
It's such a grey area because cheating to me describes something intentional to get better at something. Where when he was doing it, it wasn't for the intention to get better at CrossFit. It was just because he wanted to, you know, get bigger for the purposes of, I don't know,
so
get more chicks or something.
So would you call that cheating though? Like,
well, man, I honestly don't know. I'd have to know like all the ins and outs of it because do you think, would it be something like you'd have to declare that you once did do gear?
I actually don't even know the rules. Like, I mean, like, I was asking you opinion-wise, but I wonder what the actual ruling in the book would be. You know, like, you cannot compete in this sport as a clean athlete.
Ever.
Have you ever had if you have ever had drugs before of any performance enhancing degree? Because like you look at like the guy Mariusz Pudzianowski. Do you remember the World's Strongest Man, the Polish guy? Did you ever watch World's Strongest Man?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Do you remember the Puds? Mariusz Pudzianowski?
Maybe.
He was one of the most famous strongmen or world's strongest men of all time.
All right.
And he went into MMA, couldn't get into the UFC.
Oh yeah, I know this guy. Yeah, I know this
couldn't
guy.
get into the UFC because they have a 200, which is weird. The UFC have a 265-pound weight limit.
Yep.
So there's no super heavyweights in the UFC. And Pudzianowski couldn't get down below 300 pounds because he's just fucking massive.
How tall is he?
Not tall. It's like maybe 5'11". Like
and
6 foot.
Anyway,
he might be 6'1", but if you look at him, he's just a fucking barrel.
Yeah, he's just a barrel.
You know, like so. I think he's probably like 5'11", but I might be wrong.
He's a chunk.
Yeah, but I mean, should he have been allowed to fight UFC because he's actually like he's been that.
Yeah.
I imagine that fucking juiced his whole life, and then you're going out and like punching and kicking people in the head.
See, this is why I think that it should all just be regulated and legal because it's going to happen, or at least have but not even that. I was about to say we have a doping competition and then a doping-free competition.
So you just think we just have doping?
Honestly, like it should just be legal, like caffeine is and like prescription asthma medication is and shit.
Yeah, but if that's the case, think about this then. If say tomorrow we go, all right, Tom Ahern's been named president and CEO of every sport in the world.
Yep,
and he's decided to open all the borders of the drug trade, bring it all in, and
let's have a sesh.
That didn't make sense what I said, but you know what I mean. So basically, it's free reign. Everybody can have as much.
It's regulated though, so it's all high quality stuff. Like you're getting good HGH, good testy. You're not getting, which is it's gonna eradicate the people doing shit behind closed doors, which is like dirty needles and all that.
Yeah, well, people will still always cheat though even if it's regulated. People will find the new.
But it won't be cheating anymore.
No, but I mean,
single drug.
When you say regulated though, do you mean regulated in quality or regulated in quantity or both?
Both.
So
literally, there is
people will cheat then.
How do you mean?
If you're regulating quantity, if you're saying So, for example...
Oh, no. I see what you mean. Sorry, yeah.
For example, Vitor Belfort in UFC, another UFC example, had the testosterone exemption.
Yes.
So you can go... Me at 31, I can go to a doctor and I can get a testosterone exemption.
Yep.
I imagine, anyway.
Yep.
I could say, look, I want to have the testosterone of a 25-year-old, which I probably don't because I'm an old boy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But
by the fact that you jack off 14 times a day. Can you actually stop right now?
So, but for example, Vitor was like 36, 37, he's like 40 now, had a testosterone replacement therapy exemption. So he could, so I forget what the actual reading
So
they
that's
says.
not performance. Oh, well, it is subjectively performance enhancing, but
Well,
not
it's
relative
evening
to
the playing field.
That's right.
That's what they would. That's what their reckoning was. So,
yeah.
but Vitor, so he would. So the window for.
Yeah.
I forget the way that they grade it, but say it's like. I think it's like 150 something in something.
Yep.
You know, he's like let's say 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Let's say a 5 out of 10's your happy hormone replacement therapy. That's where people live their life. 5 out of 10.
Yep.
So you can be between 4 and 6 on the TRT, on the testosterone replacement therapy.
Yep.
Vitor Belfort was like a 17. Not joking. He was like 3.5, 4 times the legal limit on the testosterone replacement therapy. So
Is
he
that
was okay.
him naturally?
No.
Oh.
Nah, this is cheating.
Okay.
So he had, what I'm saying is he had an exemption for a performance enhancing drug. So
Yep.
regulated kind of in your example.
Yep.
And then he was like, okay, that's cool. I'm still going to cheat.
Yep.
You know, so that's the problem. I think if you open up, if you open up everything, you have to open up everything and go fucking go for it. Or you're still going to have cheaters.
So that's what sorry, yeah. So I didn't fully understand what you meant by quantity.
Yeah.
But yeah, that I reckon we should, because people go, oh yeah, but it's setting a bad example for kids and all this sort of stuff. That shit happens today anyway. The kids know about that shit. It doesn't matter. It doesn't take away from the fact that, like...
It sets a worse example now that people are doing it and they're cheating.
Exactly. It's
if
way
there's
worse.
no cheating, then that's not cheating.
Can you imagine what it would be like if everyone was completely fine with the fact that performance-enhancing drugs were part of any sport. like drinking water was, and like people would still look at Lance Armstrong and go, fuck, he absolutely killed it. And look, the thing is, sure, he cheated a lot and he, bribed a lot of people and all this sort of stuff. It doesn't take away from the fact that he won it 7 times. I don't think it does, in my opinion, at all.
No.
And yet that man is completely under the bus now, because everyone looks at him and goes, oh, yeah, but he's a cheater. It's like, yeah, but yeah, if you actually understand what the drugs do, it means you have to train 3 times as hard. It doesn't take away. So I think the value of sport is really good for kids, because it's kind of like a thing of, work hard to get your goals. And that's a good application for life.
That is.
But people seem to think that taking drugs takes that away. And for me, I actually believe that it kind of gives it something more. It's like, well, this person actually wanted more. Yes, he had the resources financially to do it, but he wanted it even more. So, like, I would never say to my child, hey, look, take drugs and you'll get there. But I would just say, like, I would just keep the value of sport. I've kind of lost my train of thought here, but like, I just don't think it does.
Well, let me interject then, if you've lost your train of thought. So, I'm with you. You still have to do the work. You're still most of the people that are drug cheats are probably still the most talented person in their sport, because most of the people that they're competing against are probably drug cheats as well. So, but I mean, so that does suck. So the world's already kind of like that. But if you say, okay, open slather, the problem is that all the performance enhancing drugs that we use today aren't healthy.
Well, that's why I want to regulate it.
Some of them are, like, some of them will help you recover better and keep your testosterone level at, but TRT is a bit hard. But like, it's so basically what you're saying then is kind of like, all right, if you want to be the best of the best, if you want to pursue your goal and live the dream of being an NBA basketballer, or because imagine, like, you open it up to NBA, imagine what the NBA players look like. NFL, like whatever. And a lot of these guys are already probably on it. But if you want to do that, then you have to take drugs that are going to harm you in a negative way. It takes away pretty much. Like, let's be realistic.
Yeah.
Like, you go from the chance at the moment, you're probably like 1 in a million chance of being an NBA player.
Yep.
At the moment.
Oh, yes.
If you but if you say, I want to be clean, but the NBA says that you can be dirty, you can be taking drugs, but you say, okay, I want to do that as a clean athlete, I'm going to play in the NBA, then now you've probably got a 1 in 100 million chance.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it means it takes away that whole avenue for people. So the problem I think is, I think it's such a good discussion point.
It is.
And I like your theory, but I think regulation of quality and quantity. I mean, I'm not saying this is your exact idea, but if you're trying to regulate quality, so only the best stuff, then I think people are going to cheat and get the dirtier, heavier, harder stuff.
Yeah.
You know? And then if this is your healthy range, you know, if 5 out of 10 is your healthy range for TRT, for example, then people are going to do the Vitor Belfort. They're going to just take more of it.
Yeah, but
I think you're always still going to have those cheaters.
There are some people anyway that just have high testosterone levels.
No, but I mean, that's just an example.
Yeah,
that's just an example. What I'm saying is, if 3 jabs of let's use the most common 3 injections of steroids, total layman's terms. If 3 injections of steroids is where the cutoff is, and that's the healthy range, then people are going to be shady behind the door. I'll just fucking sneak an extra one in there. I'll have 5 or 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
You're going to have cheating. So, and the other thing I reckon that's tough is like, imagine, it would be cool to see though. Imagine
it would be amazing to see how good they are.
Yeah, and that's like, imagine if you just said,
I wonder if it would be any different from what we see now.
Yeah.
Because there's that much cheating going on out there anyway, you know. People don't even people think it's only like in the Olympics and shit. Like, I mean, I'm not speculating. I mean, I actually am genuinely speculating here. But like,
but you think you're not. You're 99% sure you're not speculating.
I'm 99% sure that I'm not. Yeah. No, that was just a cover up. I'm putting myself in the grill here. Like, there are like off testing periods in the NFL, and like, sure, they're on the NBA. They're not tested all year round. There's probably like, I'm pretty sure I read somewhere there's like a 6-week off period in the NFL where speculatively people just go hammer and tong. You know what I mean?
Probably.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know how fast it comes out of your system or whatever that or whatever that stuff is.
Nah.
But like, you know.
Yeah, it's I would like to see if they said, okay, no worries, open slather. I would love to see it would look fucked. Like, I imagine every sport just look like NBA. Every team's just like 5. Like, point guard looks like Ronnie Coleman. Power forward looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Adam Scott. Golf looks like Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah.
He's not even black, but he looks like Ronnie Coleman. He's just turned black.
Yeah, I think it'd be funny to see where it would end up. But
yeah, so you would want to see 2 though, wouldn't you? Want to see a doping competition and a doping-free competition?
I don't really know what I would want to see.
So what's your solution then?
Definitely don't have one.
Yeah.
I definitely don't have one. I think, like powerlifting, for example, like down at my powerlifting club, there's people that are on the gear down there. Like, they'll talk about it, no worries. I was talking to one of my good, like probably my best mate down there that I've got from the short time I've been down there. He's just going through a cycle of gear. One of the crew that, I won't say who, but like people were like, hey man, fuck, have you ever thought about trying this and that? Like a different person had a real lengthy discussion about growth hormone and stuff like that. And, you know.
Well, it's completely illegal for the person that's not competing.
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
It's just like going and getting it. I don't know.
That's
whatever.
right. So, but my mate down there, he is competing. So he's.
Okay.
But I don't know the what is it called? Federations that well at the moment.
Yep.
So, because there's one that's not tested.
Yep.
So it's basically drug.
Oh, there is.
There's tested and non-tested in powerlifting.
So it could be doing the other one.
Yeah.
Could be elsewhere.
I don't know if he's like in the tested one and he's cheating, or if he's in the non-tested one and he's not.
Do you think the federation need to come after you now? Going to come after the.
Come to me.
Come to you for ask who it was.
Yeah. Want me to snitch?
Hey, mate, we're definitely not from the federation. Why is that bad to say federation? Don't know.
Yeah, but what I was going to say is, I think it's like the fact that powerlifting, I know that there's 2 different federations. It's like, well, that fucking sucks.
Really?
Well, I think so, because I'm like, well, who's the actual best? Like, why it just dilutes the sport.
Yeah.
You know, like if you've got like
that's what I mean.
But if you've got
people
NBA,
just want to see the biggest and the best.
Yeah, if you got the NBA and you got the biggest rivalry at the moment in the NBA is, you know, probably like Steph Curry and LeBron just from the last couple of years. So, for example, what happens if, you know, LeBron goes, oh, look, I'm going to stay clean, and Steph Curry goes, I'm going to fucking use EPO, flat stick. And then like, okay, well, you don't see Steph Curry versus LeBron anymore because Steph Curry's in the old drug-taking league.
Down.
And then, and then LeBron's in the clean league.
Yeah.
Like, I think it just dilutes the sport. So,
well,
I think it has to work.
What about this comparison? taking it back to CrossFit, Matt Fraser is clearly the best CrossFitter in the world out there. Mm-hmm. But imagine what it would have been like if Rich Froning and Matt Fraser went head to head. I know they did, 2014, but because you're always going to have that thought looming over. It's like, yeah, but what if Rich Froning was still competing now? Like, who would be the best?
Yeah.
That's always going to be over, as opposed to a thing of like, oh yeah, but what if Steph Curry didn't take drugs? Who would be better?
Yeah, but I think that did tarnish the fact that Matt Fraser won it a little bit. I think for me, I was like, he's not the best.
He's not the best.
Well, you don't know that he's the best. It's the same
because Rich Froning could still be training.
It's the same as John Jones and Cormier in the UFC. John Jones is the greatest ever. Cormier's Johnny Bones Jones. Cormier's the light heavyweight champ. He's a fucking gun. Yeah. Only been beaten once or twice. He's only been beaten by John Jones.
Yeah.
Never been beaten a heavyweight. Never been beaten a light heavyweight. Anyone outside of John Jones. And Cormier's the champion. And everyone's like, yeah, but he's not the best.
Yeah.
Like no one gives a fuck. So they're examples where, for sure, they happen, and you get on with it. You get on with life. You get on with the sport. You still enjoy it. So I agree with you there. But imagine doing that across the whole board. It just dilutes everything.
People just want to see people like sport is just such like a corporation now. Like people just want to see amazing shit. And I swear, like if drugs became legal, it would be super controversial for what?
It'd be fucking sick. It would be fucking sick.
But like,
imagine watching the 100-meter sprint. Well, they're already on the gear, but like, imagine if they were just like, get on more of it.
Yeah, just do more. Like, I swear, man.
7 seconds.
After
2.1 seconds.
Yeah. Like,
we created the flash.
He went negative.
He went back in time.
Yeah. I swear, after 5 years' time, people just been drinking their
He went negative.
eating their popcorn.
He went, oh no, he went negative. He went negative.
In a sense that he just started running backwards. I don't know what he's doing. You're saying. Like,
where are you going?
People would just not give a fuck in the end. People would just be like, oh, that's just amazing.
It is amazing.
The fact that people on drugs would be forgotten because, in a sense, it's already forgotten today. People don't want to know. They don't give a fuck. They just want to see cool shit.
Well, some sports they do, some sports they don't.
Yeah.
Because, for example, it's fucked because Lance Armstrong, right?
Yep.
Greatest ever at...
Still the greatest ever.
Yeah. So greatest
Doesn't
ever.
take away from what he did.
No. Greatest ever. Most famous fucking bike rider of all time.
Yeah.
And now he's the most that's been dragged through the mud. Like he's been dragged and dragged. Like he's fuck. But and then you look at Anderson Silva. So people will say, some people will say a couple of different fighters, but most people will say John Jones or Anderson Silva are the greatest of all time. It's out of those two. For me, it's Anderson Silva. So Anderson Silva, 1 or 2 greatest of all time. Anderson Silva's been busted for drugs.
Yeah.
No one gives a fuck.
No, exactly.
Because it's like in the UFC, it's like part and parcel. It's like, oh yeah, he got busted. He's off for 6 months, whatever. He's back. Like no one.
Why is that?
Bats an eyelid.
Why is it like that?
I don't know.
Well, it's a culture difference. It's a culture difference.
Well,
like,
isn't there in the NFL if you get busted, you get like 6 weeks suspension?
Yeah, it's nothing.
John Jones's brother. I keep saying John Jones, but I know John Jones's brother because when John Jones was getting in all the trouble, he's got 2 NFL playing brothers, and I think Arthur or one of the 2. All the American listeners probably like, fuck, his name's not even Arthur. He doesn't have a name Arthur.
Yeah.
But one of his brothers got popped for drugs, and it was like, you get like a 6-week suspension.
Yeah.
So obviously in the NFL's eyes, it's more minuscule as well because you're not going to have a fucking 6-week suspension for something that they really frown upon that hard and come down upon that hard.
So maybe it depends on the sort of thing he was taking, though.
Maybe, but yeah, maybe.
They came out and said, oh, yeah, Lance was...
You had 3 coffees today, you're suspended for 6 months.
Yeah.
You had too much caffeine.
Lance was fucking doing HGH, but like it's all good. Like he'll be out for 6 weeks and then he'll probably resume training again, and they moved on. No one to give a shit. Yeah,
it's...
and then you can also have a look at how they test for drugs as well, because, if you and I went up and trained in the fucking Himalayas for like 6 weeks, 8 weeks, we'd come back down literally with superpowers.
Performance enhanced.
We'd be performance enhanced, genuinely. And like...
But we'd be healthily performance enhanced.
Well, would we though?
Yeah.
You can't do that super quickly because your blood is full of oxygen.
No, you can't.
How is
that's
that any different
what altitude sickness is.
Well, how's it? Yeah, that's right. So how's that any different to blood doping? Because that's not healthy.
Blood doping but it is healthy.
It's not healthy. If you just pump more oxygen into your blood.
Hey, mate.
I've done it.
Yeah.
I've done this shit.
No, but there's healthy ways to do it.
Yeah.
You just have to acclimatise correctly.
Yeah.
Like if you land at fucking 2,000 meters above sea level and fucking run up to 6,000 meters above sea level, you're probably going to fucking die. But there's ways to do altitude training
slowly
that's...
acclimatise.
100%.
Yeah.
So, but what my thing was there is just like, I think the biggest problem with it is that it harms people, Yeah. Like if it doesn't harm you very negatively, then it's a supplement. It's not a drug. Well, it's in the supplement. You call it a supplement.
Well, how's that any different to training overload?
Yeah.
Because honestly, the volume of training I'm on right now is harmful.
Yeah.
It's not good for me.
Yeah. No,
I'm in the grill. I'm in the grill.
Well, that's a fucking pretty interesting point as well. But I think the thing that could change it all. But I think when we get there, there's still going to be the other side is the fact that science is so amazing. In like 50 years, we could have all these performance-enhancing drugs and they could all be okay for us.
Yeah.
They could all be fine. And if that's the case, then who gives a fuck?
Let's do it.
Like, get on them. But when that happens, there'll still be dudes in lab coats creating new, more powerful shit that'll legitimately make you a fucking superhero-style person.
Yep.
There's always going to be that bit that's pushed too far and it's not good for you. So I don't think we can get rid of it. I don't think we can do anything about it.
Well, and the thing is as well is like, 50 years ago, just our knowledge of shit is getting better. Like 50 years ago, we had no idea about, when to carbo load, when to taper, like what caffeine did as a stimulant, all this sort of stuff. Our knowledge in a further few, all that general stuff. People know to have even something as basic as people know to have a healthy meal that's rich in carbohydrate after a lot of high-intensity training. People didn't know that shit 50 years ago. People would just go out and fucking... dudes in the 70s and 80s were having darts and drinking beers half-time in the footy.
Yeah.
That was when it was good. But, imagine what our base knowledge is going to be in 50 years' time, irrespective of all of those scientific lab coat dudes creating new drugs.
Yeah, I think it'll be individualized. I think it'll be, how you have all the genome testing and all the blood type testing or whatever, and then so you can say
that'll just be standard.
I don't know how all that works too well. I really don't.
Yeah.
But basically, I think it'll be like, all right, so Tom Ahern, your studies have shown that you don't actually need that much carbohydrates to run. Your body's going to run a lot better off fat. So you need to do this. You need this supplement, that supplement. You need this micronutrient, that micronutrient. Like, you're going to be able to dial it down individually.
Yeah.
Whereas now we're like, blanket cover, okay, carbs at this time, fucking protein X amount per whatever. We still break it down a little bit individually, and people find out what works for them off their evidence, how they feel themselves.
People do their own blood testing and stuff,
they
don't they?
They do. But I think blood testing will be more of, maybe more of the norm. So you'll be individualised to I don't know, further extent. But pretty...
It's fucking interesting stuff.
It is interesting stuff.
Look, I think to conclude, I would love to just see someone just sprint the 100 metres in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Just to go to town on it.
I wonder when... that's one thing that always confuses the shit out of me. It doesn't confuse me, but to think about, when will it actually stop?
What, when we just go down to zero?
No, you probably can't get to zero. So
did you say you can't?
When will the Olympics get to the point where it's like
when it's just too good?
Yeah, it's like, because they're running fucking fast.
They're going quick.
Like, how much faster can you run than that?
I don't know, man.
Like, Usain Bolt's,
he's moving.
Fuck. So,
and he still drinks beers.
I'm wondering, can you get 7 seconds? Fuck, that's so fucking quick. That's probably 200 years is going to be 7 seconds.
Yeah.
But you can't get down to 3 seconds. I don't know. It's it's got to stop at some point.
When is it going to be discriminatory not to include a robot in the 100-meter sprint? It's like, when do robots become, humans? What is a human? And then it's like, then we should have them in. It's like that thing with that dude with no legs. Is that performance enhancing that he has springs?
Yeah.
Or does it just
no shit.
even
fucking oath it is.
Yeah. Or does it just even the playing field? Because the poor bastard doesn't have any feet.
Well, how do you know? How do you know how fast he was? How fast were you with your legs, mate? I was fucking fast. I was gold medal fast.
Yeah.
Oh, well, in that case, we'll give you these. We'll give you this fucking.
We'll give you these wheels.
We'll give you this motor.
We'll give you these fucking wheels.
I was real fast. I was world class.
The only
level.
thing is, I have the remote and I'm controlling your wheels. Win by just a little bit.
Yeah. That's a funny one, the old Bionic Man or whatever the fuck he was called.
Yeah. And then he killed his
wife
missus.
Killer.
Yeah, the wife killer.
But,
fucking hell.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But, it's pretty funny. But Anyway, so
Yeah.
you got any jokes to finish us off with?
Fuck, any jokes?
Any puzzles?
Any puzzles?
trivia?
Yes, I got a puzzle. I got a
do?
puzzle for you. Yep. All right. So there's two kids sitting on a bench.
Haven't had one in a while, so
Yeah. No, there's two kids sitting on a bench.
blue.
Negative. There's two kids sitting on a bench.
Damn.
Fuck. Yeah. Okay. One is a boy. One is a girl. Okay. The kid with blonde hair says, "I'm a girl." The kid with brown hair says, "I'm a boy." At least one of them is lying. Which one? This is a tough one, and I just have to just be sure.
Hang on, wait. Say that again.
Okay, so there's two kids sitting on a bench.
Yeah.
One's a boy, one's a girl.
Yeah.
So the blonde-haired kid says, "I am a girl." Mm-hmm. The brown-haired kid says, "I'm a boy." Mm-hmm. At least one of them is lying.
They're both lying.
Why?
Because you can't have one of them lying and not the other.
Why's that?
Because then
you're right, but explain in more depth.
If the blonde-haired girl is lying,
Yep.
then she's a boy. And then if that means the other one wouldn't be lying, so they'd both be boys, which would mean that's not what was going on.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Jeez, I'm good as fuck.
Yeah, that was really good. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just because it's all in
The way you said it.
the way you said it. Yeah, it's all in like that. At least one of them is lying.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's
I liked
tough. Yeah,
All right, should we wrap it up?
I think we should. That was a good little sesh.
Fuck, I like that one. Better than our last one.
Yeah, our last one was poo.
Let's not. We won't go into that.
We won't go into that, but it was poo. No, that's good. More
all right.
content than anything else. So yeah. All right, until next week, gang. Goodbye. Alrighty, guys. We hope you enjoyed that show. We hope you actually got a little bit more content from that one than our previous one. Again, we won't go into detail about it, but we will. So if you liked listening to the show, guys, head to iTunes and give us a rating and review. I know we always talk about getting on there and giving us a 5-star and a comment, but we do read all the comments, guys. We do read all the reviews. We want to make this show as best as it can possibly be for you guys, so that we can take it around the world. So let us know your thoughts, guys. Also, head to what's another one we can give them? www.adventurefit travel, guys, and join the mailing list because it keeps up to date with everything Adventure Fit when you're on there.
Did you go Quash Creative and Audible?
Didn't do Quash Creative and Audible. I just kind of trailed off a little bit.
Yeah,
I did kind of trail off there, didn't I? I'll talk about Audible. You can talk about Quash.
No, just give them the links.
Okay. Quash. Audible. See you next week. Guys, head to www.audibletrial.com/radio. Get your free credit when you sign up, when you subscribe, and then also Quash Creative, QUARSH creative.com.au, Bill?
Nah, .com, my
Cool,
friend.
Cool. Aside from that,
That's it. That's us.
Yeah.
Catch you later, suckers.
Discovery Roger, go for deploy.